Tonight, as a memorial service for the blind teacher who was killed 2 weeks ago takes place in Marigat town, a big number of residents from Baringo North are still leaving the area. Also tonight, the Kenya Union of Clinicians threatened to begin a strike early next week if the Ministry of Health does not declare the fate of 8,500 health workers hired during the COVID-19 pandemic. And Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga has said that the chairmanship of the African Union Commission will not hinder him from engaging in domestic politics. The Azimio leader says that he will be present wherever needed.
But let me respond to some issues being raised. Yes. I'm not going anywhere. I'm around.
Welcome once again. My name is Hibak Saeed. On sign language interpretation tonight is Catherine Simaloi. To start us off, Attorney General Justin Muturi has advised the Kenya Revenue Authority that there is no legal foundation for implementing or collecting the housing levy as introduced in the Finance Act. Let's take a look at the details of that story. Right, residents continue to flee in large numbers from Baringo North as a memorial service for the blind teacher who was killed 2 weeks ago was being held in Marigat town. Hundreds of people have fled the areas of Yatia and Rormoroch following the killing of a Class 8 pupil and a Form 1 student of Yatia, leaving the area deserted after a banditry attack on Monday evening. Now, the total number of those killed in banditry attacks since the beginning of the year is now 12. Kisewa Emory tells us more.
Tumesimama hapa kwa sababu ya familia hii.
In Marigat town, family, leaders and residents of Baringo assembled at Marigat AIC Township Church for a memorial service held for Thomas Kibet, a man who was ambushed and killed by bandits despite surviving a similar attack when he was just 9 years old, an incident that left him blind in one eye, but this time he wasn't so lucky.
Familia yetu tulipoteza ndugu yetu peke yake. Inji yote ya Yatia pamoja na Kakiri ilipoteza mtu mkubwa sana. May your family will never find this thing my brother found. In Jesus' name. I pray that will not come back again.
Family and friends eulogized Thomas as a peace ambassador who desired peace to come to Baringo, while pleading with the government to take action.
Na sasa tumepoteza walimu, sio moja, sio mbili, wengi. Ilianza na deputy principal huko, ikakuja yeye remu, wanafunzi, hata watoto wako mochari sahi. Wanataka wakufe wangapi ndio serikali isikie kilio yetu? Ni lini serikali itakuja vile imeenda Kiambu kupigana na pombe? We want to appeal to our leaders, not to massage the government, to speak for their people. The leaders of West Pokot are defending their people. Where are our leaders that we voted?
7 schools have been closed in the county, with Rarmok Primary School and Yatia Secondary School closing today as locals fled. The elderly have borne the brunt of the banditry as they have been unable to flee.
We cannot release our children because we cannot guarantee their safety. Meona wazazi wakija, they are killed. Now children, if it was a child, ingekuaje, it is going to be painful. Leo nimekuja nimeona mbuzi wengi wakisafirishwa kuja upande huu. They are coming closer to our place. We want to pray that God may give us peace
Baringo North has faced renewed attacks since the beginning of the year, with tensions remaining high, even as mothers and children flee to safer areas. Kisewa Emory, TV47.
Thank you, Emory, for that report. Now back to the capital. In the first full day of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's state visit in Kenya, President William Ruto received him at State House, Nairobi, where they engaged in various matters pertaining relations between the two countries. After a brief luncheon at State House, the two leaders toured and officially opened the data annotation solutions provider Sama Kenya EPZ Delivery Center in Nairobi as part of the national government's plan to enhance its investment plans in the information, communication, and technology sector, further for accelerated national development.
We are destined not only to coexist peacefully as neighbors, but to also thrive vigorously as brothers. That is why we enjoy one of the oldest comprehensive bilateral cooperation frameworks, which has anchored our interactions and underpinned our mutual intention to do more together. Your visit, my brother, Excellency, has reminded us of the deep foundations of the relations between our nations. It has motivated us to reflect on the implications of our shared destiny, encouraged us to do our part to ensure that we find our space.
We're very happy to be here. We're enjoying all the moments since our arrival. Everyone is witnessing the friendship, the brotherly attitude towards Ethiopia from our brotherly country, Kenya, is a demonstration that these two countries doesn't have any baggage to strengthen our relationship, also to go forward in multifaceted and ambitious economic plan that both countries has.
Now on to matters politics. Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga has moved in to allay fears in the opposition should he vacate the coalition's leadership post to serve in the African Union Commission, saying he is available when needed. This as Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka said he is ready to take up his position. What next should the Azimio leader get the African Union Commission chairmanship post? Opinion is divided on whether Odinga should pass on the opposition leadership mantle to avert a fallout.
The looming exit of Azimio leader Raila Odinga from the coalition, which has caused jitters in the opposition, was a talking point during the second day of the county government's investment conference in Homa Bay County, forcing Odinga to allay fears of a power vacuum should he get the African Union Commission's chairmanship post.
But I'm not going away. Addis Ababa, as said, is only 2 hours away from Nairobi. I'm available. Whenever I'm called, I will answer. I'm ready to work with you people. But what is important is that we must ensure that what we set out to do is eventually achieved.
Kuna wakati inafika the eagle flies away and leaves the eaglets to practice on how to fly. Baba, go to AU as your eaglets, na mimi nikiwa mbele taonyeshana wengine vile tuna fly.
Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who is among those positioning themselves to inherit Odinga, is being challenged to the throne by former governors and ODM deputy party leaders Hassan Joho and Wycliffe Oparanya.
We are missing Baba, my friend Oparanya. There's Uncle Steve-O. Yeah, so we should not miss each other. And then there's nothing in Raila Odinga to miss, I can tell you that. Knowing him, he'll be traversing the continent like a colossus.
You will not leave a vacuum. Kalonzo yuko hapa mbele, na sisi tunashikilia pande hii. Lazima tuhakikishe kwamba serikali ambayo inakuja, sisi tuko ndani na tumejenga taifa letu vile kwa ile mipango ambayo wewe umetupea.
Kalonzo, however, dismissed media reports of an ongoing sibling rivalry in Azimio, especially in the wake of the NADCO report adopted by Parliament, paving way for the creation of the official opposition leader and 2 deputies, which the NADCO report says should go to the party that got the highest number of votes in the last general election.
They have said sibling rivalry can actually kill. We have seen conversation, very unhealthy conversation, in our local media, some of it attributed to our own people within Azimio coalition, going for each other's jugular. Others who have never associated with us, my brother, and we know them, never associated with us, they are now in the forefront, trying to see if perchance they can create a rift within Azimio.
Odinga's 2024 calendar will keep him busy lobbying and away from intense local politics ahead of the crucial vote early next year, when 55 heads of African states cast the ballot in a make-or-break moment for his legacy.
We have marching orders from His Excellency the President to support your candidature at the AU. You can count on us, tutatembea na wewe Afrika mzima. Kama unahitaji watu wa kubeba bag, niko hapa. Tutatembea na wewe Lagos, tutatembea na wewe Cape Town, tutaenda na wewe Kampala tena turudi, and across the continent. Because we believe as a country, and we've taken a common position as a country, that we have what it takes to unify our continent at the helm of its leadership. That is a unifying factor for the people of Kenya.
Odinga, however, appeared to contradict himself on the Uganda meeting between him and President Ruto and Uganda's Yoweri Museveni, saying he is the one who reached out to Museveni for support, contrary to his post on social media platform X, when he said the Ugandan leader invited him for joint talks with Ruto. Odinga has until April to formally apply for the job, which so far has not attracted other challengers. Apollo Kamau, TV47.
Thank you, Apollo Kamau, for that analysis. Of course, you can get details of that story and the tug of war on our socials at TV47KE on X, at TV47 News on Facebook, and you can catch me at Hibak Said. Moving on, the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers has threatened to hold countrywide demonstrations early next week if the Ministry of Health fails to pronounce the fate of 8,500 UHC workers hired during the COVID-19 period. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, the union has decried discrimination in positions recently advertised by the Public Service Commission, saying some cadres have been left out, especially on the policy-making department at the Ministry of Health.
Monday, the 4th of March 2024, the Ministry of Health is expected to receive over 8,500 UHC staff hired at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, knocking on their doorstep. The UHC staff, led by some unionists, including the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers and the Union of Public Health Officers, have vowed to take their demonstrations to the Afya House building in a bid to know their fate 4 years later after they were promised employment on permanent and pensionable terms.
Their contracts, that 1 year is coming to an end in May. Yet, there is no clear information as to whether these people are going to be absorbed or not.
And there is a lot of uncertainties, and this has actually brought down their morale, and this affront line healthcare workers. The issues need to be addressed as soon as possible.
And that's not all. On the 27th of February 2024, the Public Service Commission re-advertised vacant positions at the Ministry of Health. This despite a court order issued in April 2023 halting the process, terming it discriminatory. A section of health unionists maintain that the positions of directors and heads of divisions within the ministry have only favored one cadre against 20 other cadres in the health sector.
We are going to cite them for contempt because a court of law has already determined that you cannot proceed in such a manner, and with impunity they have gone ahead to advertise ignoring that court order.
Directorate position kuanzia kwa DG katika Ministry of Health should be open for competitive. It should not be designated. Isiweko kwa ajili ya mtu mmoja kwa sababu wote wana qualification.
Recently there was career progression which was carried out in Naivasha, and it was only crafted for just managerial medics at happy house. Those who have diploma and also high national diploma were left out.
The unionists have also taken issue with the delayed posting of interns in fields like those of clinicians, nutritionists, medical lab officers, and public health officers, further issuing a 7-day notice to the Ministry of Health to post them in their respective health facilities, or they will strike until the day their cries will be heard. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for that report. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki now has assured prisoners that visitation will resume in the prisons. Speaking at the Naivasha Maximum Security Prison, Kindiki says there is a need for the prisoners to be visited by relatives every once in a while, adding that there is no need for denying them visitation, especially since COVID-19 is not a problem anymore. Kindiki further noted that long-term prisoners will be given grants to enable them integrate into society.
Ni maana kwa nini tusiwahusishe katika huo mpango wa kutembelewa na jamii zenu? Nataka mtupatie muda wa mwezi mmoja, miezi miwili, tuweze kuona ni jinsi gani tunavyoweza ongeza kile ambacho mfungwa wakati anakamilisha kifungo chake anaenda nacho nyumbani. Nitaongea na Attorney General wetu, mkuu wa sheria, ili mpango wa Power of Mercy usaidie ili kupunguza murundikano katika majela zetu. Tewe request ya how many computers, how many laptops we require, and again I will give you enough laptops so that your court appearances, court sessions, and your paralegals can be able to support you.
Now, dearest viewers, details on a story that ran headlines a few weeks ago. The owner of the Kila Embakasi gas plant, David Kimathi, has been released on a 500,000 shilling cash bail, despite the prosecution's request for a 14-day extension of detention after the gas explosion that happened on February 1st, which resulted in 7 deaths and over 300 injuries. Limani Principal Magistrate Dolphina Alego also ordered Kimathi to deposit his travel documents, including his passport.
Yes, Your Honor.
With what document can I verify that you took him out on Friday and sought to interrogate him?
Your Honor, due to the nature of the matter.
With what document?
Your Honor, due to the nature of the matter.
Please, let me assure you.
The investigation diary is already on record. It has been typed.
Do you have it with me so that I check what you did on Friday?
With the direction of the court, it can be provided.
Mr. Kariuki, you want me to ask Kawana to give me more time so that you can keep him for another 1 day so that you get 15 days. As you stand, can you show me the investigation diary so that I verify whether you took him out and wanted to interrogate him?
Today he's alone. In view of the foregoing, these are the orders of this court. 1, the suspect to deposit his passport in this court. 2, the remaining investigations to continue when the respondent will deposit a cash bail of $500,000 with 3 contact persons, or a bond of $2 million with 2 sureties of similar amount.
Of course, TV47 has been following up on that particular stories. You can have details of that on our socials on YouTube or at capemedia.africa is our website. Now, moving on. Coffee trade on the Nairobi Coffee Exchange has seen a 35% jump to 30,272 bags compared to last week, totaling to a value of 1.3 billion shillings. The highest price achieved was $499 per 50-kilo bag. Now, from Darwini, a price equivalent to 224 shillings per kilo of cherry at Factory Gate. The top 10 prices went to coffee societies in Nyeri and Kirinyaga counties. That's Ndaroini, Kangosho, Mudheka, and Gadhaithi from Nyeri, and Ki, Kiriamuki, Mugaya, Kiangoi, all part of Rungeto Farmers Cooperative Society, and Kaguyu from Inoi Farmers Cooperative Society from Kirinyaga. this year has seen a sustained rise in coffee prices, with the number of bags received more than $400 per kilo or per 50-kilo bag increasing, notably 20,716 bags, or 68% of the volumes traded were premium grade AA and AB.